Apollo 11 was the first successful manned mission to land on the Moon, launched by NASA. It was part of the Apollo program, initiated by the U.S. to land humans on the Moon and return them safely. Launched on July 16, 1969, from Kennedy Space Center in Florida, USA, the crew members included Commander Neil Armstrong, Lunar Module pilot Buzz Aldrin, and Command Module pilot Michael Collins. The spacecraft had three main parts: the Command Module, Columbia, Service Module, and Lunar Module, Eagle. The Saturn V rocket, the most powerful rocket ever built, was used for the launch. The mission objective was to land on the Moon, conduct scientific experiments, and return safely to Earth. Armstrong and Aldrin were selected to walk on the Moon, while Collins remained in lunar orbit. The lunar module Eagle detached from the command module on July 20, 1969, preparing for the Moon landing. Armstrong manually controlled the descent, avoiding boulders and rough terrain, and landed in the Sea of Tranquility at 2017 UTC on July 20, 1969. His first words after landing were, "Houston, Tranquility base here. The Eagle has landed." The mission was broadcast live, watched by over 600 million people worldwide. The U.S. won the space race against the Soviet Union, fulfilling President Kennedy's 1961 goal. Apollo 11 paved the way for future moon landings and space exploration. Neil Armstrong became the first human to walk on the Moon, stepping down at 02:56 UTC on July 21, 1969. His famous words were, "That's one small step for a man, one giant leap for mankind." Buzz Aldrin followed Armstrong, becoming the second person to walk on the Moon. They spent about 2 hours and 15 minutes exploring the lunar surface. They planted the U.S. flag, but due to lack of atmosphere, it appeared to be waving. A plaque was left on the Moon, reading, "We came in peace for all mankind." They collected 21.5 kilo, 47.5 lbs, of moon rocks and soil samples, and deployed scientific instruments, including a seismometer to measure moonquakes. The lunar module's ascent stage launched from the Moon on July 21, 1969. Michael Collins orbited the Moon alone, ensuring their safe return. Collins later joked that he felt like the most isolated human in history. They left behind the American flag, scientific equipment, and a disc with messages from world leaders. The crew began their journey back to Earth on July 22, 1969. The Apollo 11 mission proved that humans could safely travel to and return from the Moon. Apollo 11 re-entered Earth's atmosphere on July 24, 1969, and landed in the Pacific Ocean. The crew was recovered by the USS Hornet, a U.S. Navy aircraft carrier. They were placed in quarantine for 21 days to prevent possible Moon contamination. The Moon samples were studied by scientists, confirming the Moon's volcanic history. Apollo 11 was a massive success, proving human space travel beyond Earth. It led to 5 more Moon landings: Apollo 12, 14, 15, 16, and 17. The Apollo program was discontinued after 1972, shifting focus to space stations and Mars missions. The original Moon landing footage was partially lost, but restored versions exist today. Armstrong, Aldrin, and Collins became global heroes, honored by world leaders. Apollo 11 inspired future space exploration, leading to plans for Mars missions and beyond.